I want to talk about my top 10 dream guests on my podcast.
I forgot about this. Yes. Okay. Wow. Canceled on your second episode. It's kind of crazy.
Justin's kind of been coming for me
I
lately.
thought you were done. You're
Listen,
fine. You're good.
No,
Is this what?
I bought some more.
God. Oh my God. I'm crashing out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Club Crave podcast. Oh my God, you clicked on episode 2. You came back. It means you somewhat enjoyed the first one. I appreciate you for coming on and taking a listen. It means the world to me. I just want to say, I think we had over 500 listens to the first episode, which I think is pretty good. First episode. So anyways, I just want to send my sincere appreciation to everyone who listened and commented. You know, even if you commented something negative, which I don't want to give the attention too much on that one comment, but
Was it one negative comment? Because I think you folded it. I don't think I saw it then.
I didn't fold it. So there was one comment and it said, "This was so unnecessary."
Okay, I did see that one.
I'm
they clearly didn't listen all the way through though, because
no shit, this is unnecessary. Podcasts are unnecessary. That's
literally
what
though.
Life is. Life
is unnecessary. Let's start there.
Well, let's start with life.
That's a conspiracy, and that's right wing pipeline. But
okay, now you're vibing with the right wing pipeline. Last episode, you were fighting me on right wing pipeline.
After maybe
Did
this
I teach
is
you something.
Maybe.
Welcome to the Club Crave podcast, the podcast for the Welcome to the Club Crave podcast, the podcast for the pop culture obsessed, fandom coded, chronically online besties. I'm your host, Nick Williams, lifelong Swiftie, Trisha Paytas stand, and internet historian. No, I'm not a historian. I'm more of a connoisseur. We're still workshopping it. Okay, so anyways, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, every week we dive into fan culture. We talk about the hot topics of the week. We talk about the internet. We talk about its impact in people's careers. Also, we talk about the subcultures of the internet, right? And the different fans out there. Most episodes, I like to have guests on that we can have a little back and forth, and we can talk about either their career as an influencer, or we talk about, a fan and how they have, used the internet to create a community and build friendships and relationships. So we've got a guest on later today, actually a local musician here in Nashville. And I'm excited to introduce her. She's actually my sister, so she will be on the podcast later. And we'll talk about how songwriters are using the internet to leverage their careers, as well as maybe some of the challenges they face on, breaking through that algorithm. Something I want to talk about today, before we get into our hot topics for the day and all that, kind of talk about my LABUBU addiction. And I know it's not good. Justin's kind of been coming for me lately.
I thought you were done. You're fine. You're good.
No,
is this what?
I bought some more. This is news to you. Okay.
Oh, no.
Hold the phone. Okay. So actually, exciting news though. My very first Big Into Energy came in today, and I got Serenity. Isn't she so cute?
I mean, Serenity's the best one.
So you knew I already got her. So that's not a surprise to you.
Because that was the deal that we made.
Well, if we make any deals in this house, I just told you, I need to stop, basically. But I didn't stop, you guys. Okay, so I deleted PopMart. I deleted all the apps that notify me when the drops happen. I deleted I turned off notifications for Amazon because I had another app that would tell me when the Amazon things would drop. And I also, well, I haven't unfollowed Pop Mart on TikTok yet, but like I think that's the next step. But like is there like some kind of like Labubu anonymous group that I can join, because I think there's like the hype with it, and it's like they're just so cute. I cannot stop. And it's become this thing that I've been doing for like 2 weeks. And like when you do something for 2 weeks, it becomes an addiction, right? I think like every night my brain tells me to go to that Pop Mart live on TikTok and have it open as I have the Pop Mart app open, going through those boxes, and it's so addicting. Anyways, I'm breaking news to you now that I did buy some big into energies. Okay.
Well, that
That's
makes
better,
sense,
right? Because I already have the whole have a seats. I have most of the macarons.
Yeah.
But big into energy, I only have one. Okay.
I'm okay with
But
that makes sense. Yeah.
So I was able to add 5 big into energies into my cart, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to get them. But somehow on one of the busiest nights of Pop Mart, I got them. I got 5. So here's the plan. Okay. I'm probably going to get some duplicates, and I'll sell the duplicates.
Right.
I hate to be a reseller, but also like
Wow, canceled on your second episode. It's kind of crazy.
But like, I think people who are buying them for $60 like appreciate that they can find one for $60.
Why don't you just sell it for the price that you bought it?
Nobody's doing that.
I feel like if you're upcharging to a straight person, it's okay. But like if they're gay, then you should give them like
Pride
a
Month.
30% discount because it's Pride Month.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah. That's how I would
That's
approach
perfect.
it personally. Yeah. So like when I was in high school, I really don't want to come for you too hard. I really do love Labubus, and that like it's just like I'm just curious.
And I'm glad I was able to break it to you here, because I won't get yelled at as much.
I was not gonna yell at you to begin with. No,
I'll hear it a couple different times the next couple.
But I
weeks.
am gonna come for you, and
with the Labubus.
I'm gonna come for you a little bit. I feel like you're always coming for me for like being into like really niche things, but like that's what makes them feel special to me, and I don't understand what it's like to like enjoy something because it's popular.
And see, that's the difference between you and me.
Yeah,
I love a bandwagon.
I don't get that at all.
I want to love a bandwagon.
I want to feel like the main character. I want to feel like nobody in the world is like me. Like,
I think it's because like as a kid, I didn't like grow up getting Aeropostale clothing like everyone else did. And I
read me.
I'm not reading you. But
they were hand-me-downs.
Well, and all I'm trying to say is that like I think there was something always within me that like when something was trending, I wanted to be a part of it.
That makes sense.
I never really was. Yeah. I think, I probably was more than I thought I was. Like, I think I probably did end up getting like Aeropostale shirts, like, eventually. But it was like when the craze first started and everyone was wearing them in school.
Well, now Aeropostale's out of business. So yeah, you probably got it.
No, I think they're back.
I thought they came back and then they went out of business.
Oh, maybe
again.
You're right.
Yeah.
But anyways, all that to say is I love a bandwagon.
That's crazy.
And I know a lot of y'all out there do too. So
right-wing pipeline.
Okay, you can't just drop right-wing pipeline. Conspiracies is kind of where the right-wing pipeline comes in, not just out of the blue.
No, not out of, but you could argue that just wanting to hop on a bandwagon is right-wing pipeline.
How?
For sure. What do you mean how?
Oh, because MAGA?
Because anything. Like if you just like something because it's popular, then you don't actually care about what it actually is. Okay, you just want to feel like you're in the in crowd.
That's definitely not true. I think these things are very cute.
I'm not coming for Labubus. I'm coming for bandwagon
mentality,
which you basically just said is the only way that you operate. You're like, I love a bandwagon. Like if someone was like,
okay, why are you dwindling me down to that's the only way I operate?
You said that.
No, I didn't, honey. But now, I get just thinking about the podcast and where like I want this all to go. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about my top 10 dream guests on my podcast.
I forgot about this. Yes. Okay.
And I sat down today and I wrote out a list.
Okay.
And I'm excited to share this with you all.
Am I gonna even know who they are though?
Yeah. You'll know most of them.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know really like what order to kind of tell you. There's not really a certain order. It's not like I want this person more than the other person. It's kind of I just want them all. I would love to have them all, in person or virtual.
Mhm.
In person would be great. And if there's any of these names that I say, and if you're watching, let me know. Let's set up a collab. Get into the top 10 guests on my podcast. Can you do the impression?
Of what? Oh, sorry. It's so late. That's crazy that went over my head. Dream guest on my podcast.
Perfect. Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
All right. First up, dream guest. I have to give it to Oscar Gracie. If you guys don't know, I started a fan account almost a year ago now, which is crazy, called Oscar Crave, and it is all about Oscar Gracie. It gets into his updates. We update people on what he's got going on in life. We clip his YouTube videos and his streams, and we're just silly on that side of the internet. We're very niche. I think TikTok we've got over 11,000 followers, which is pretty. I'm proud of that. And I think like Trish and Oscar have mentioned Oscar Crave on the podcast, over 10 times or something like that. Proud of what we built over there and proud of that project. And it's been so much fun. And anyways, kind of got to know Oscar a little bit more running that account. I've met him a couple times now. So actually like getting to I probably shouldn't do a whole blurb for every one of these if we want to make this an hour podcast. But for Oscar, we're going to make it special. Okay. For Oscar, I just want to sit down with him and really like talk about like growing up watching YouTubers and like how he like basically like infiltrated and he's like working for like these top YouTubers now and like what that process was like. Also like what are his thoughts on like I don't know, like how somebody can do the same thing. Like how can he what would he suggest somebody who wants to maybe work with YouTubers, become a YouTuber? How do they get there? All right, number 2, I have to give it to Trisha Paytas. I mean, imagine a collab with Trisha Paytas, you guys.
I don't think you have to imagine it. I don't know. It's gonna happen. I've seen
know.
that for you for a while.
I would love to have Trisha on. And Trisha, I know you hate a virtual collab. Like she talks about this all the time. She does not like a Zoom call.
But I just feel
like girl,
we've talked about this. I feel like I'm your creative director. I don't think you've like thought through it enough. And like you would have to travel to her, and then I think you could like mukbang like in and out because that's like your fave.
And I think that's one thing too about Trish. I want to let her know, like I will. You say the words, I'm there. You know what I mean?
But like I just don't see it as necessarily as like just like just go on the podcast, sit in the chair, just like do an episode. I see it as like y'all need to like make content together. Because I feel like y'all just get each other really well, and we'll like make like a really cute vlog or something.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna start small with the podcast. We're gonna try to just do a little collab there, and see where that goes. Mm-hmm. But anyways,
oh my God,
we're manifesting.
Andrew with Lizzo, because Lizzo said that too, that she wants to do like a monthly thing with Trish. So it could be like you, Trish, and Lizzo just chilling, vibing. I see it.
Anyways, Trish is the queen of manifesting. So here I am putting this out into the world. I would love to collab with Trish and Oscar. So those are my top 2. Next on the list, I have Callie and Lena. I would love to kind of learn about like their experience with running the operations of the Trish universe. You know what I mean? They're doing the behind the scenes. They do the merch. They do the online. They do the customer service. So I would love to like hear about what that's like. And then also Callie is now streaming and she's in her gamer girl era. Ooh. So I would love to like talk to her about that because this podcast is very much, we want to get to every corner of the internet, right? We want to dig into it. I shouldn't just have guests on that I consume or whatever, like content that I consume, because in all reality, I'm not a gamer. I do join Callie's lives every once in a while and say hi.
You say that though, but like you have like won Fortnite before.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had spells where I get into like Fortnite or Animal Crossing, but I'm not like every day I'm not like, oh my god, what game can I play? Like I'm not, or like who can I watch it stream?
I feel like
I'm
that's like a
just-
misconception though. I don't think you have to like play video games 24/7 to like be a gamer.
Well, I'm just not in that community. I don't know any of the influencers in the gamer world.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. But yeah. I think I don't know, to me like, and maybe it's just cuz like they have Twitch and it's like this whole app thing, right? So it's like TikTok. Like there's sides of TikTok. I feel like there's like sides of gaming worlds. So like you're a gamer, but like you follow Oscar Gracie. Like he's your side of gaming.
That's true.
You
I
know?
mean, Oscar does do a lot of gaming live streams. And I'll tell you that first 20 minutes where he's just talking with the chat, I'm locked in. And when he starts gaming, I'm like, I start to lose.
I mean, yeah, that's
because
fair.
I'm just not
that's
into
true.
the gaming.
Yeah.
Next, I have on the list of dream guests on my podcast, Jacob and Lucas Cruikshank.
Oh my God, please.
Icons. They
my
actually just
God.
ended their podcast, their Bros podcast. Did you know that?
I just discovered it. Like, and you were like, "Oh yeah, that's like the last episode," and I was like,
I'm like,
"What?"
dang it. But I think they've been doing it for 5 years, so we have a lot of content to go back and consume. But would love to have them. If you know them, you know them. They're icons. I need to keep moving on this list. I would also love to have Adam McIntyre on the podcast.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Ben Verde and Trish Crave.
Mm-hmm.
Spill Sesh. Oh God, I would love to have Spill Sesh on the pod.
That's gonna happen too.
Kayla Says, which is
I would cry.
Your girl.
I would wait. No, sorry.
What, honey?
I was gonna say, can you also manifest that she brings Brian with her?
Who's that?
That's her boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Why do you like Brian?
He's just so sweet. He's like one of like the straights that's like not toxic.
I love that. Kayla Says, if you don't know, she does a lot of pop culture deep dives. She's great. Hormona Lisa, I put on the list. Oh my
God.
Because she's a Tennessee girly, so I feel like she'll be in Nashville often and I can get her in.
Biggest regret, and I don't know why. So like you were at I think your people, like your fans know this, but like you're the reason that clip was on of like her.
That's
getting
true.
Her book signed by RuPaul. Like your video is what was on the show.
Yeah. So I funny story. We went to RuPaul's book tour in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I recorded as Hormona Lisa got asked by RuPaul. I think we're in like the third row.
We were
or something
pretty
like
close.
That.
Yeah.
RuPaul asked her to be on Drag Race right there.
We decided right there that like she's our winner. Like we hope she goes far.
Poor thing, didn't. But we love Hormona Lisa, and I think she's an icon. And
she really is.
She's such
People
a character.
Are sleeping on
she
her.
Needs her own
so
show.
Bad. She needs her own show. Absolutely, she needs a cooking show. Can you imagine?
Oh my God, a Hormona Lisa cooking.
I don't even
show?
know if she can cook, but just like her like southern charm.
Motherly.
I would like no.
Grandmotherly.
I see it like her just like you know that like they had that drag show that Bianca hosted that was really bad.
Yes.
No offense.
I don't remember what it was called.
But like the whole thing was like they had to like do a dinner party.
Yeah.
They should try that again, but like it's just Hormona Lisa.
Would love.
And I would actually watch that.
Love that. Next guest on my podcast, Molly Grace. Do you know Molly Grace?
I don't know Molly Grace.
So Molly Grace is actually Nashville local. She's a pop singer. People relate her music to like Lizzo and Chappell Roan. She's a curvy girl. She actually went to Belmont, so I should ask Samantha if she knows Molly Grace. My sister is Samantha. Actually, like something Trish said on actually on tour on stage, she goes, somebody asked in the Q&A, who would play you in your biopic? And Trish like says all these different names, and then she goes like she said, well, this girl's name is Molly Grace, but then Trisha was like, her name's like Mary Grace.
Wow.
Mary Grace, she's like this curvy girl, she's on tour right now. I saw this clip and it was so funny. And then Molly Grace, the singer, she stitched it and she's like is Trisha talking about me here, you guys? Like, I think Trisha wants me to be in her biopic, and I don't think Trisha responded. So we're still kind of a mystery who Trish was talking about.
I mean, that makes
But
sense.
I think it was she was talking about Molly Grace, and I can see that too. So, anyways, she's local. So, Molly, I would love to have you on the podcast. Talk about your career, talk about all the things you've got going on, and how you've used the internet to leverage. You've gone viral many times. You've got a couple of viral songs. So, and I think if I played them for you, you would know them probably. But yeah, would love to have her on. And then I also put on here just any of our local drag queens in Nashville. Nashville has incredible drag scene, you guys. Actually, I think there's like 3 or 4 different queens that have come out of Nashville and gone on Drag Race. Or Mayari, we've got Georges, the Princess, Jaden Dior Fierce. I feel like there's maybe another one in there. Is there?
Wow.
Wait, what? Wait, did I miss a big one?
This is the one you always miss, but she was the runner-up, and now she's a judge on Canada's Drag Race.
Oh my god. Wait, is it the one that does the Taylor Swift lookalikes? Is she from Play?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think. Well, okay, no, sorry, you're talking Jade Jolie.
Oh wait, Backrolls is
Jade Jolie's from Kentucky, I think.
That's what I thought, Louisville.
But sorry, I guess she doesn't do Taylor Swift. But to me, she looks a little bit like Taylor.
Who is it?
Brooklyn Heights.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, those are my dream guests on my podcast. I'm just putting it out into the world. So, I think if you're listening, just put stuff out into the world, right? Manifest. I believe in it wholeheartedly. Being a Trisha Paytas fan, the way she's manifested so much in her career right now, the tour, SNL, Broadway. She continues to manifest things. So, if anything we take from her, we need to take that, the manifesting, and remember how powerful it can be. So, yeah. And
I feel like all those are pretty achievable.
You think so? I think I kept it pretty.
So just
cute.
so I'm just gonna add some sprinkles, but we're also manifesting Bowen Yang.
Let's not go too big.
Maybe the 52nd president of the United States. Maybe, I don't know, whoever that'll be. AOC, hopefully.
I was trying to figure out what president we're on.
I don't think we're there yet, right?
What did you say? What number?
52nd. Because
we're on 47 right now, I think.
It's in the 40s. That's why, yeah.
Obama was 44. Trump 45. Biden 46. Trump
so now
47.
we're on 47. Oh, yeah.
So 48 will be AOC. Would love to have her.
48?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we hope to have 48 on the podcast.
Rooting for you, AOC. Shout out AOC. Okay, well, what should we move on to next? I guess we're gonna do some calls.
Oh, okay.
We got some calls in.
I love.
Super excited to dive into these. But first, we have a friend here in the studio that's going to crash out about something that she is very passionate about. So, one of my best friends. Everyone, give it up for Savannah Rang. Okay, gonna edit that.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm like that.
He looked at me like, "What the hell?" Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Club Crave podcast.
I'm sorry, I did something weird.
What did you do?
I went like that.
It's fine. You know what? I won't cut to you for that part.
Okay, great.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the next segment of the podcast, we are going to listen to some calls from the Hot Girl Crashing Out hotline. Now, we opened this hotline. We did get a few calls. I'm really excited about it. And we are going to go through those calls and live react. And I'm going to put the graphic up on the screen. Go ahead and write that down. Put that number in your phone because it is a number that's very important. Okay. So if you have an emergency, not if you have an emergency, but if there's a hot topic emergency in the middle of the week, maybe, your favorite singer released an album, somebody released a song and you were just crashing out over it hardcore. What else? Your Justin Bieber came on Instagram Live again and he went nuts. Crashing out, called in. Let me know what you're feeling, y'all. I want that live reaction to the hot topics of the week. Now, before we get into the calls, we actually have a little special moment here. We're going to do a live in studio crashing out here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast, Savannah Rang. Now, Savannah Rang, our history together. We actually went to college together. We've been best friends for, oh my God.
Jeez, what
It's
is
been 5 years since no. How long has it been? My timelines
We're
are
old,
screwed,
so
y'all.
we're
Since
boomers.
COVID, I can't think about anything.
We-
College, we were
It's 2016.
18 and 19,
Almost
and
10
now we're like
years.
27. Oh my God, 8 years of friendship?
Yeah, 8
That's a long
years.
time.
Wow,
Wow.
it's a lot of crashing out.
That-
That's unrecorded.
We've done a lot of crashing out in those times. I mean, y'all, we would like college parties. Like we've seen a lot from each other.
Mhm.
We've seen each other in the lowest and the highest points of our lives.
Oh, yes.
So yeah. Anyways, Savannah came on. She actually was like, Nick, I'm going to call into your hotline and crash out about something. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I love that. But I looked at her location and she was in Nashville. And I'm like, okay, wait. You might as well just come on here and let's talk about it.
Right. We
So-
live 5 minutes away, mind you. And I'm like, I'm going to call you.
Well, and she's moving from Nashville, which I'm very sad about
I
next weekend. But happy for her in her new adventure, in her new life, and not new
Sure.
life, but new.
Well, new location.
Yeah.
But Nashville's always in my heart, and you have a lovely guest room. So
Yes. Oh, yes.
it'll be.
Behind, actually, behind this fuzzy wall is a Murphy bed. So when you
Perfect. So just
we'll
put it on
just
down.
take down that fuzz wall and we'll put down the bed and
yes.
yeah, we'll just readjust everything. But anytime you want to stay, you know you have a place. So, all right, we're getting into it now. Savannah Ring, what are you crashing out over, dear?
Oh my gosh. So you already got round one when I first told you about calling in to crash out.
Yes.
So Kesha just dropped a new song. Okay. This is not the hottest take ever. She's been around probably, I think 2010-ish, 2011.
I don't know.
Don't care. Loved her
We
ever
love
since
Kesha,
day
though.
one.
She
When-
is that girl.
She's that girl. And when she released TikTok, I
Mhm.
remember I was on a field trip bus, okay? And I remember I ascended straight up into the heavens. It really was the party don't stop, y'all. It still hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
Iconic. And she's releasing new music. So she has a new
Mhm.
album coming out. It's either called Period, I think it's called.
Period.
It's like,
With
yeah, like
a T
period,
or
like a
D?
dot. So you can,
Oh, just a dot.
it's just a dot.
I love
So
that.
I actually Googled this because I knew I would be coming on here to talk
Mhm.
about what the album's called because it's literally just a dot.
I
like-
love it's just a dot.
I'm like, is
That's
it called
crazy.
dot?
Is it dot or period?
period.
Okay, period. Love
According
that.
to Google.
That's iconic, Kesha.
Love it. You know, like period, like
Period.
end of sentence. I mean, and it really does. It slays the house down. This one, Attention
Mhm.
came out today. So,
Attention. That's a song. Okay, so
Oh,
a single came out. Is this the first single on the album?
no.
Oh, okay. God.
There's been so many.
I love Kesha, but I don't keep up with her
Yeah.
like that.
I
But
think most people are like that actually. But you know, Spotify knows
Yeah.
my heart and my spirit. And Spotify's always like, hey girl, guess what's new? And I'm like, you know, I gotta click it immediately.
uh-huh.
And when I tell you, ascended into the heavens once more.
Once more.
Oh my
There she
gosh.
went.
There she went. I mean, not every Kesha album,
Mhm.
they can't all be the best. But this one, I'm telling you, she's bringing it back.
Mhm.
She had a bit of a lull. They weren't bad by any means, but they just weren't my favorite. But oh my goodness,
Now-
this one.
Is this her first album since the Dr. Luke stuff? Is this like her first? Is this like her comeback?
I don't think so. She
Oh,
had
okay.
the gag order.
Oh,
It's the one with her in that bag. the cover.
Okay, that must be it. Because
Oh, so
Justin
good.
and I saw Kesha at Pride last year in WeHo, and it was amazing seeing her
bet.
perform.
Oh.
Like it was incredible. But she like she said on stage, she's like, "This is my first time like singing since I'm out of my contract with Dr. Luke."
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I thought that was like when we were in college. Like I thought that whole thing was then, but I think
Yeah.
the contract like she got out of it, but it's still like there were some strings
Lingering,
still
yeah,
that
of course.
they didn't let her like do a whole
Right.
album or perform new songs or stuff like that.
Right.
But wow, yeah, I love that she's got this new album coming out. Has she? Okay, the dogs. The dogs have entered the chat. So we've got 2 small dogs, and since we've got guests over, they're gonna just absolutely bark and go crazy if we put them in their little crates. But so we're just like, let them linger and let them just walk around. So if you hear a little clicking, clacking, that's what that is. Just letting you know.
Just kind of making their little entrance.
They're crazy.
Making their exit.
They need to
chilled out a little bit.
make a little appearance here.
I'm sure they
eventually.
will. They got
But-
a perfect little microphone right
Oh
here.
my god, yes, puppy mic.
There you go.
Okay, Sav. Okay, so Kesha,
Mhm.
the new song. What are you hoping to hear from the rest of the album? Do you think it's going to be the same
Ooh.
vibe, or are we going to get some like sad songs? Are we going to get what are you
I don't
thinking?
know if she's in her sad era anymore. I mean, she
Mhm.
did it and it was wonderful. I mean, Gag Order, I know that one on the charts did not perform as well as
Yeah.
some of her other stuff, but it really was great. I thought it was
Mhm.
fantastic. It was very it was a lot of soul
Yeah.
and just a lot of, you can tell she's been through some stuff,
Mhm.
And I think that's one thing I've always liked about Kesha's. She's had such an interesting life and has seen so much. She's been in
Yeah.
the trenches. And the fact that she's just coming out swinging for the clubs
Mhm.
is such an inspiration, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I love that she's in this power mode. She's in this, it's
Mhm.
very happy music so
Yeah.
far. So I'm
For the
glad
girlies
for
and
her.
the gays.
Of course. Of course.
Okay, and then you yourself, so everyone knows, Savannah is a musician herself. She's a producer. She does all kinds of
Yes.
stuff in that world. She helped me set up my mics today. Thank you, Sav.
We tried. Hopefully it sounds like
Hopefully it
good.
sounds good. Well, it's my fault because I don't have headphones that plug into my system, so we can't really tell if it sounds good or not. But please, Lord, I hope it does. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, coming from the standpoint of like being a producer
Mhm.
and listening to this, like, what are your thoughts? Like, how well is it produced? Like, how hard is it to make something like that?
It's very hard. That's one thing that is so, like, as a producer, I respect so much about pop music
Mhm.
is that girlies like Kesha and Russell's here
I'm trying to
now if you
distract
can't
him.
see him.
I snapped.
No, but music that Kesha's doing and Lady Gaga and Sabrina Carpenter and all
All right,
these girls, they just make it sound so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that is, of course, amazing songwriters, amazing performers, but a lot of it's in the
Yeah.
production too.
Right.
It's very difficult to have such. And if you haven't listened to Attention yet by Kesha, please do.
Attention.
You'll
We
know what
listened
we're
to it in the
talking
car on the way to
Oh.
a show we were going to tonight. And it was amazing.
I know, John.
I was like, wait a second. I want to go to the club right now, drop some ass.
Yeah, yes. But something that's so hard about a song like that is that the energy comes out so strong and it doesn't quit the entire song. I think that's,
Yes.
as a producer, that's one of the hardest things for me is not only starting that energy, but keeping it
Yeah.
going. And just every probably 10 seconds, you get a new section. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
gagged all over again. It's so good. It's just so
And I
so
think
crazy.
like with production too, like I feel like in a way you're telling a story with the music, right? So
Yeah.
like it can't just be like hardcore the whole time. Like
yeah.
there is like that kind of progression in the
Yes.
songs. And like even with Kesha's music being bangers, like it's not all just loud, obnoxious,
Yeah.
techno noises. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I'm so sorry if you heard that. The dogs are playing tug of war and they get nasty sometimes.
Right here.
Oh my
right where we
God,
they have
right
this
here on the
beautiful
pod.
house.
We're going to have to figure that out because we cannot have that every week on this show. Well, Savannah, thank you for joining.
Of course. Thank
I'm
you
so
so much
glad
for
you got
having
to
me.
come be on the pod before you leave Nashville, you traitor.
I know. I'll be back. I'll be back staying in this here Murphy bed.
Yes, we
Hopefully.
just pull down that pink wall.
Well, thank you for letting me crash out.
Oh my God,
I've
of
been
course.
just dying to do this all day long.
And you know
so
what?
it's
You
so
can
good.
crash out anytime. Just call in to
Okay.
the Hot Girl Crashing Out hotline.
Yes.
Number is on the screen once again. Don't forget to call. All right. Next, we are going to get into some live calls.
Okay.
Stick around. We're going to get into some of these calls. So I listened to the first call because I was just so excited that I got a call. Thank you to the 2 people who called in, by the way.
I just found out that Ariana Grande's Nona died. Shook, gasping. Also found out her name is Marjorie. The same name as Taylor Swift's grandmother. That's making me cry a little bit. I feel like, oh my God, I'm crashing out.
Wow.
Was she underwater?
I'm just a little confused why it sounded like she was underwater. But love the call.
Yes.
I don't know what you guys could make out, but basically she said, I'm trying not to laugh because it's a serious thing, but Ariana Grande's grandmother passed away this past week, which rest in peace. She's iconic. Very supportive of Ari's career. And I mean, just recently, Ari and her were at the theater together seeing Wicked. So I'm so glad that her grandmother got to see Wicked and got to see Ari live this big dream, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's so sad. And actually this past week, like a few different people passed away. It was kind of a big week for like
No,
passing away.
I literally said that too, because
the girl from How Clean Is Your House died. You ever watch that show growing up?
I don't think so. I was thinking of the one from Worst Cooks in America.
Oh, she passed away too. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It was
And I
like
think
last
there was
week.
another
We just
one.
kept hearing news.
Mhm.
People passing away, but
There's
and then,
a contestant from Project Runway.
oh
died.
really? Oh,
And then I'm spacing another big one that I think was
it was
an
this
older
past week as
person.
well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something's in the air.
Well, rest in peace to all these beautiful souls
Absolutely.
and icons in pop culture. It was just kind of a weird week. She said her grandma's name. I think she goes by Nona. It's like the Italian grandmother. But her real name is Marjorie, which
I love that.
she's crashing out because she realized Taylor Swift's grandma's name is also Marjorie.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the next call.
Hey, girl. By the way, I just want to say I love you. I feel like you might have came to the Seattle show. I can't remember, but I was really sad that I didn't see you. I wanted to be in like an interview. Anyway, my name's Abby. I'm from Seattle, like an hour away from Seattle, but saying Seattle's more fun. And I just wanted to say I've been crashing out over the Wicked trailer for good. Like I'm so excited to see Elphaba like casting spells, and it was like such a cool little sneak peek to hear the Helicanama. I'm gonna die. Like I was literally sitting there like screaming my head off watching. I think I've watched the trailer like 5 times now. Okay, and then a little tie into that crash out is I'm crashing out over Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande surprising the queens on this season of Drag Race.
Yes.
Which I'm not even watching Drag Race. I probably should. But that was so amazing. Loved that. I love that they're like so supportive of the queer community, and I love that Wicked is for the gays. Anyway, I'm dying. I'm pretty much living for the next Wicked release, and yeah, I love your guys' new podcast. And I hope it pops off. I bet it will, because we're part of the Trisha Manifesting Queens community. And yeah, love you so much. Okay, bye.
Oh my God, that was so sweet. Did she say her name?
Maybe at the
Dang.
beginning.
I don't think she did. Abby.
Yeah.
Abby. Abby from Seattle. Abby, thank you for calling in. That was the
I
sweetest
loved
voicemail
that.
ever.
I have so many things
That
to
was
say.
like, if I could have created the perfect dream voicemail for the first call, hot girl crashing out hotline. That was it. That was so good. Yeah, I think both of us also are kind of like have been crashing out about the For Good trailer, because
I think I'm scared to go back and rewatch it because it was so magical that I was like, I can't think about this because I will cry. You know? So I feel like I have actually like put that in like the deep recesses of my mind for now.
I watched Wicked in
just
the theaters
to function.
5 times. I went
Yeah,
back.
you did.
I
you
went back and back.
And you would go
again.
again.
I had the A-list. And yeah, I would go back.
Yeah. But did you go for Wicked, or did you just go for our man?
Jonathan Bailey?
Yeah.
Little of both. I love Jonathan Bailey.
I mean, how could you not?
But like Wicked, is just such a great movie. And Cynthia and Ari are just fabulous. But the For Good trailer, it's just like when the first movie ended, you're just like, okay, what could possibly be better than this, or like what could happen after this? Because it feels kind of like the ending to a story, right? Because like she flies off, it's like it feels like the end, and then For Good comes out, and it's just like kind of what happens after, and like how their relationship, and it's kind of like, are they gonna get back together? Are the girlies gonna queen out again together,
Yeah.
or do they part ways? And that's what this next one's about. It's gonna be really good.
I'm excited because I feel like this is really the part of the movie that a lot of people said was the reason like this couldn't be made into a live adaptation.
Yeah.
Just from watching the trailer, it looks like they did it justice.
Oh, the
And,
trailer
like,
looks so good.
But like for them to successfully pull off like this movie as like a second part, they kind of have to do it better than the Broadway production.
Wicked, amazing, For Good, great. Cannot wait. I'm right there with you, Abby. Cannot wait to see this movie. I hope the world doesn't end before For Good comes out, because there's a lot going on right now, guys. Bombs and
But like
war.
think about it.
And I'm scared. Let's just get us to see the movie, and then we can. Then the world
I
can
don't
go.
think that's possible. Like I get it. Like it's like the whole like religion and my whole vibe there. Sorry, put that aside. But like so like technically I get that like it's wishful thinking, but I just feel like the universe would not give us Lord's album on the horizon if we never were supposed to hear it,
Well, the album comes out pretty soon.
Oh, so maybe it'll all end after
we
Lord's
hear
album
Lord,
comes
yeah.
out. But like I'm at least gonna be alive until it comes out, because if I'm not, then like I meant to hear Lord's
We're gonna hear it.
new
I cannot
music.
wait.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I know
What
exactly
I'm trying to put
you're
down.
to say.
Yeah.
I've heard the first 3 singles, and oh my god, I'm just like enthralled. And people out there are saying like she, they're not. The songs are missing something, or like they're not living up to Lord's standard, or like I don't know what these people are hearing, but we're not listening to the same thing, because I am all in it, especially the new Hammer song. And then
I haven't figured out Hammer yet. I've given it a couple listens. I like the intro. You know me. I love a good like or whatever's going on. But like I guess that was more Donald Duck, but I'm trying to emulate. I just sorry. Like I'm worried. I don't think this is going to be my favorite album by Lorde, but obviously it's artistry and it's poetic. I think that
her music is very lyrical.
I think the lyrics on this album might hit the hardest.
Yeah. I mean, the Man song, what's it called? Oh god, I'm terrible.
Mm-hmm. Man of the Year.
Man of the Year, thank you. I'm gonna sit here and say it's my favorite song. I've listened to it a million times, even though I couldn't remember the
It's
damn
called
title.
ADHD.
It's also 2 a.m. So
it's crazy.
Abby, thank you for your call. That was very sweet. And if any of you all want to be featured next week on our, here we go again, Hot Girl Crash Out Hotline, give us a call, crash out with us. We will play you on the air. And you know what? If you want to come in live to the studio, if you're in Nashville, we will give you a spot here to do that. Today's episode is very exciting and very special. We have a special guest here today. So with our guests, I want to bring in people who are of the internet, right? Like that's kind of what this podcast is. It's people who either are influencers, trying to be an influencer, or are like a big fan, and they're like they have all this knowledge about all these like different subcultures of the internet, and we just kind of want to see all the different sides of the internet and how people use it to maybe build their careers or just as a hobby. I'm just so fascinated by how powerful the internet is, with my own experience using the internet, like creating fan pages online back when I was a Swiftie, and then like going to the shows and meeting everybody. Like that was so cool for me. And then like with the Trisha Paytas world now, like creating Oscar Crave, and then getting to like, I don't know, like just go to these shows and do these boots on the ground interviews. I'm just like, I just realize how powerful the internet is, and like how, people can really use that to, one, build their careers, and two, build a community and feel like you're part of something. I feel like maybe, when I first moved to Nashville, I didn't like know a lot of people here. So like I turned to the internet to kind of like, find my people. And that's really what I did. And anyways, all that being said, our guest today, her name is Sammy Kay. Everyone welcome her to the
Hello.
podcast. She is a local musician here in Nashville, Tennessee, and she went to Belmont University, was a songwriting major as well as music business major. And she's currently, she's put out music over the past handful of years, and she has a new song coming out that we're excited to talk about today. And we're going to talk about, we're going to dive into her career and how she's using the internet and how she plans to use it to grow and hopefully, build that community online and that support. And we all hope you go after the show today to show your support as well. All right. Welcome to the show.
Hi. I think you forgot to mention that I'm your sister as well.
Oh my God. That's an important thing to note, for sure. I think I was like, gonna tell the story, introduce you, and then say that right at the end, but I forgot. But thank you for reminding me and the people. So this is my sister, and she has a new song coming out, and I'm like, okay, wait, I don't have my guest lined up, and I'm like, okay, wait, this is a perfect time to like talk about how Samantha's using the internet, and also like talk about her new song. Her new song's really good. What's it called?
Called Baby Shower, and actually just came out today.
It came out today, you guys. Yay! And we actually that's why it's 12:30. We just got back from her release show. She had a release show at a little house, a house show, I guess is how you'd phrase that. Yep. I'm trying not to say too much because I got one comment that was like, quit saying so much. I'm like, of course that comment sticks in my head the whole fucking time. Excuse me, whole freaking time. I need to bleep that. Let me get back on track. Okay. Now, Samantha, tell us about yourself. I introduced you, said Belmont, and I said all these things, but you can start from the beginning. How did you get your interest in music? I guess is a good place to start.
Yeah. So I grew up very shy, as you know. And I found my love of music through like theater growing up. Like we went to that art school together in Marion.
Shout out CSA.
Yeah, I kind of like found my place there. I kind of figured out, I actually like, playing guitar and writing songs. And, Taylor Swift is like one of my biggest influencers. And that's kind of where I started. I think the very first time I ever sang like in front of people was when we got like that rock band.
Oh yeah,
for the Wii.
Yeah, we used to play Rock Band. It's like the off-brand of Guitar Hero.
It was so fun.
that
really got me out of my shell, I feel like.
Yeah, it was like, so like you had the drums, you had the guitar, and Samantha would always sing. And then like every once in a while I'd look over and be like, okay, wait, Samantha can actually
hitting
sing.
A note.
Like she's actually like hitting the notes, and we're all, karaokeing it up, like giving our performances. But then it was like, okay, wait, Samantha can sing. So Rock Band,
so
really
it started
inspired
with Rock
that.
Band, and I did choir in like elementary throughout to high school and all that, and theater. And then I started doing some shows in high school, and kind of like found that I really like writing stuff and performing. So I figured out that Belmont was the place I needed to go. And
when you picked up the guitar at what age?
I think I was 11. Dad taught me.
That's pretty young for learning an instrument like that, I feel like, right? What did you say? How'd you learn it, or how'd you get on it?
Yeah, he like showed me a few chords, and then I started getting lessons at the art school, and kept with it. Played some piano too, and ukulele and all that, but acoustic guitar is like my main focus.
And then when you went to college, you had already put out some music, right?
I did that little like EP. Remember, we recorded it at the art school. It's not anywhere now. You can't find it. But
she's like, that's been erased from the internet.
It was good first start, and I learned a lot from that experience. But yeah, that was right before I went to Belmont. I released that.
And then Belmont, what was that experience like? Being so if you don't know, Belmont is a school in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a big school for well, I guess for musicians. They like a lot of people who like want to come to Nashville and like kind of live that like I don't know, like they want to be the next Taylor Swift or they want to be the next country superstar. They want to go to Belmont. MTSU is another school here in Nashville that people will go to for that. Belmont's also known for like nursing, I think. So like, so yeah, it's a big school here in Nashville, and Samantha was in the songwriting program, which is really hard to get into. What do you think like the acceptance rate was for that? Just to flex on the people for a second.
I think they said it was like 8%.
Okay, yeah.
8 to 12 is what they said.
So that's pretty impressive. And then also like throughout your Belmont career, you got so many accolades and so many like people like all these mentors that would come in from the industry and just praise your music. Like I feel like I always heard stories like every other week. It was like Samantha would come, home and we'd talk about school, and then she'd be like, yeah, this like guy came in the industry and he wrote all these big songs, and then he told me my song was like a hit, which is a crazy like thing to happen. And I feel like you think, oh, everyone's being told that, but no, that wasn't everyone's story, right?
Yeah we were all like in a circle when that happened, and like that was the only person he told that to. So yeah. And
then like how often do you think that happened, like you had these mentors coming in to listen to your stuff? Was that?
It was kind of rare. The first couple years I think were the best, but then COVID happened, and then kind of all my opportunities fell through because I had to go home and do schooling from home, which kind of sucked. But the time that I did get at Belmont was great, and we did a lot of like collaborations with people, and like I learned so much. Did a lot of internships. It was a great experience overall. Yeah.
Okay, wait. We need to step back. Okay, tell us your genre. I guess we should have said that. What kind of music do you make?
It's like folk pop music.
Okay, so what singers would you like say this sound like?
Yeah, so well, Taylor Swift's my biggest influence, but Ingrid Michaelson, she's one of my favorites. She wrote the Notebook musical recently. But yeah, she's kind of like went into all the genres, which I love. She can just like go from one genre to the next.
I feel like she's pretty niche. Like I don't know if
she's one of those where like you could recognize it because it's been like a commercial or in a movie or a show. Like Grey's Anatomy, she had a ton of songs in. But yeah, that's what I love. I love her a lot because like you don't know her, but she's there and she's making making a living out of it, which I like.
That's kind of iconic to like be somebody that's like famous, but like she can go out and like not be like Justin Bieber,
that's what paparazzi. I aspire to be like. I want to like be able to go and live a normal life, but also like make a living,
be successful, and Now, when it comes to like your career, are you wanting to be a writer? Are you wanting to be an artist, or like you kind of like are good with whatever kind of happens?
Honestly, I'd say that like as long as I'm in music, I'm happy, but songwriting is my first love, like I figured out. But yeah, I love like doing the artist thing. I love releasing music. I think it's so fun, and also performing is really fun. And I think since I've formed my band and stuff, it's like I've really grown to love that side too. But yeah, just music in general is what I want to stay in.
And songwriting in particular, do you have any cool like co-writing stories, or like who have you co-written that you can name drop, or like anything like that?
Yeah. So I guess a really good one I had, like, I think it was freshman year of college with a guy named Sam Johnston. He's gotten pretty big in like the Nashville scene. So he was like one of the first bigger ones. And
he cut one of your songs that you guys wrote together.
It was called Traveler, I believe. That one was really cool. I recently wrote with a guy named Mike Maines, who I've been a huge fan of since like high school. So yeah. I love co-writing.
Any dream co-writes?
Well, Ingrid, of course.
Ingrid, we love Ingrid. Anybody in Nashville though? Like, is there somebody that like you're just like dying to write with?
Yeah, there's this girl named Emily Falvey who went to Belmont. I think she's a writer for Smack still.
Okay.
But she writes pop, but like also
Mhm.
co-writes with like country artists and stuff. But like I've always loved her music, and we actually got coffee once in college, and she kind of like was a little mentor for me during that
Nice.
time. So I should hit her up.
Yes. And if you're watching this, girl, hit Samantha up. Okay, can you tell us how are you currently using the internet to navigate your career? Like I know that a lot of people will use the internet to network. Fine, like co-writes, I'm sure. Or in general, like what are like some of the difficulties you face in terms of like trying to win the algorithm too?
Yeah, I've found it very tricky, and I still haven't like figured out that algorithm, especially like
Yeah.
TikTok. It's so hard. But yeah, I use social media for a lot of things, like reaching out to new people to co-write with,
Mhm.
like going to shows and all that. So yeah, definitely a big thing for collaborating. But yeah, I try to make videos and like do covers on there. And yeah, just promote my music through TikTok, Instagram, all the
Mhm.
good stuff.
All the things that it's just kind of like I feel like the algorithm it rewards like fast and like um I don't know, like when you see music blow up on the internet, it's kind of like it has to be really relatable to people.
hmm
Um and it has to be like I don't know. I do think it's hard as a musician because there's so much out there. It's so saturated,
Yeah,
and it's like, how do you break through that? And it's really hard. And like
yeah.
all of these record labels and these publishing companies, they look at numbers before anything else. Like back in the day when Taylor Swift came to Nashville, I think, her parents had some money and stuff like that. That helped a lot. And, people forget that part of it. But she also, like, that somebody just heard her singing and, like, heard her lyrics and they believed in her and they just, invested in her like that. And nowadays, you don't really see that with these companies. They're looking at, like, okay, did she meet the 50,000 listens in a certain amount of time? Like it's all these numbers and stuff like that, and it's not really you know are you just a genuine like really great writer, which you are a really great writer. It's just like breaking through that
Times have
algorithm.
changed.
You're trying to get through that algorithm, and
Yeah.
like I think eventually it will happen. I think this new song is very relatable to people right now specifically, so that's why I
Thank
want to talk
you.
about Baby Shower. So Baby
Mhm.
Shower is a song. I mean, I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, so I had written half of this song, and then took it into a co-write, and they helped me finish it. But I had a best friend, I'd say breakup, I'd say almost like before college is kind of
Mhm.
around the time. Um, but we just like grew apart, like politically, morally, and all that.
Oof.
And I used to like make excuses for her, like, oh, she's just hanging around the wrong crowd, like she'll change and stuff.
Yeah.
But that never happened. And I realized it's my time to like step back from that friendship. So I'd never written a song about it before. But she had like the ex best friend had reached out to me, I'd say like last year at some point, very
Mhm.
randomly, just a DM, like, hey, my baby shower is coming up if you want to come.
Oof.
And so like, I was
And
like,
you hadn't talked in how long since she
it was
messaged?
years. Like
Wow.
it was crazy. Like I went to her first one, so I
Mhm.
think she thought of me when the next one
Yeah.
was coming. Which is really sad. But I
Yeah.
thought, okay, now's the time to write a song, because like I feel like that's a cool concept, to write about something you're
Mhm.
not gonna go to, and like it's time to like, close the door on something that never
Yeah.
really got closed. Like it was just like I didn't ghost her, but like we just kind of,
Mhm.
faded apart after a while since I had moved and everything. But
Yeah, so the song's about basically you deciding not to go to the baby shower
mhm.
and reflecting on this friendship, and why, you decided not to go. It's a beautiful song. Everyone should go listen to it. I think it's very relatable to a lot of people right now. Um, and you can think about this baby shower as any like big event in anyone's life. I think it's relatable in terms of like, okay, so you have a friend breakup, right? You aren't you imagine all of these life events happening with that person, and then things happen. They turn your back on you. They turn their back on you. Wait, what's the they wait? That's the right phrase, right? They turn their back on you.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, that makes sense.
They stab you in the back.
Yeah.
Or they go all out MAGA. They go down the right wing pipeline, which we talked about in the last podcast a lot. And you just can't associate with that person anymore because it's not good for your mental health. It's not how you align morally, all these things. And you're choosing to remove yourself, which is very respectable. And I think is like, you see a lot on TikTok, like, these no contact relationships. Like, you have to go no contact at some point because it's no longer benefiting you. It's no longer good for you. It's no longer a healthy relationship. So yeah, it's a great song. Not only is it a great like message, but like great melody, a great hook. And Smith had, like, didn't even think it was. I mean, you think it's a good song, I think, but like I was like, come on the podcast, like let's do a little interview, and she was like, I have another song coming out in a couple months. Let's just do that instead. I'm like, no, you have to do this song. It's so good. It's so relatable to a lot of people right now, and I think if you go listen to it, if you have any. Not only like is it like somebody that went right wing or whatever, it's also relatable to people that have just any kind of friendship breakups. So yeah, go listen to it. I think you'll really enjoy it. And Samantha, thank you for being on the podcast today. Is there anything else you would like to tell the people? Or you can also just go ahead and plug your socials and stuff.
Yeah. So you guys can follow me on social media at Sammy Kay Music, and that's SAMMYKAY Music.
I'll put it on the screen.
But yeah, I've got songs out on Spotify. I've got new ones coming down the road, and I just want to thank you for having me on because this has been awesome.
Of course, you're welcome, sister. Okay, well, yeah, this has been good. Again, go listen to the damn song. It will take you 2 seconds, and then you won't regret it. And we'll see you. Well, it's not over. The podcast isn't over, so let's just transition into the next thing. Okay, bye. All right. Well, thank you all for watching the second episode. It's late. It's oh my god, it's 2 a.m. on the dot right now. We have a big weekend. Justin's family's in town, so I couldn't record. We couldn't record the podcast on Saturday like we had planned. Well, I guess we didn't plan it. We planned. I don't know. I just said I gotta record the podcast at some point, and I was gonna do it tonight, but then I forgot my sister had her premiere for her song tonight, a show. So
it's giving DIY. It's giving
DIY. It's giving. This is my first podcast. It's giving
decorating
no budget
from TikTok.
It's giving no budget. It's giving Labubus. Mm-hmm. We love a Labubu. Mm-hmm. But anyways, girlies and gays, thanks for watching. Sorry if this episode was a little sporadic. I need to stop saying sorry because every episode is going to be a little sporadic and a little ADHD coded. So,
and that's why they keep coming back. You need to start being confident,
right? Because I watch Trish because
in your insanity. Everyone, comment below if you think being ADHD is a superpower, because Nick thinks
it's true.
Nick regrets it. He's like, I wish I was never born with ADHD. And if you weren't born with ADHD, I guarantee you would not have this platform.
Aww.
So you need to start realizing that, like, even though it makes life hell, it also makes it special and sparkly.
You're right. I feel like ADHD is one of those things where it's like, I really wish I could say, I really wish I could erase it and like just have a normal brain, because there's so much in life that I want to do, and I struggle every day to just do those small little easy things. But at the same time, it does make you a very creative and interesting person.
I'm telling you.
And it does make you think outside the box, and it makes you a great problem solver. So you're right.
And teaches you empathy.
A superpower in many ways.
Yeah.
And I need to remember that. But gosh, some days are so hard to have ADHD. It's hard. It is difficult. But we were watching videos today online on YouTube while we were cleaning about how to function with ADHD and how to like organize your house. And those videos were really helpful because it was basically, saying like organize your house in a way that like don't try to change your habits, like organize your house in a way that it's going to match your habits.
Mhm.
Meaning like if you leave all your craft supplies out on the couch most nights, like put a little bin on your coffee table right next to your couch to keep all your craft supplies in. Like, and that blew my mind because like how simple and how like like that makes so much sense. So anyways, yeah, I think there's we're learning how to adapt and how to be human.
I like to think you're learning to accept like my little things that help me too, because usually you're like, oh, stop putting all your stuff out on the bathroom sink, and now you're like, okay, Justin needs it so he remembers to do all the things in the morning.
And I feel the same way too, because every once in a while, or like I would say every few days, I clean, and then next thing you know, like I have all my stuff sprawled out too. I need it too. Like there's something about seeing everything out.
If it's in a drawer, I'm never gonna touch it ever again. So
right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, that's our podcast today. Thanks for hanging out and listening along again. Hope you enjoyed it. We had fun time with our guests and crashing out with y'all. Give us a call if you want to crash out with us, and we'll be here next week with a special guest maybe.
Did you finally
I've reached
set
out
a time and thing? Okay.
We're
Did
working
you
on
use
times.
Calendly like I told you to?
Yeah.
Yay.
So I got Calendly.
Teacher skills coming in clutch.
And
do
I
not
set up my
major
time.
in education. It's not worth it.
Okay.
Sorry, but that would probably get you canceled. You can take that out. But.
Megan Trainor.
But no, that's different. She said teachers are bad, and I'm saying teachers deserve better. You should not put saving America on your shoulders.
Trisha actually caused that cancellation, kind of.
Yeah, she did, but it's still
not
iconic.
Really, but like Trisha.
Megan Trainor got canceled for a lot of reasons. Like
she's not canceled.
She is for sure. Actually,
oh,
yes. What? Like she's not like canceled, but like she's very unpopular. Like people are just annoyed with her.
I like her.
It gets into the whole thing because like she gave us like an anthem about being plus size, but now she like is kind of fat phobic, from what I understand.
Fat phobic, really?
I'm not the expert on this, so I don't want to.
All right. Well, let's close out. We'll do some research on it. We'll talk about it next week. Maybe.
Yeah.
So, anyways, love you all. We'll probably forget. It's 3 a.m. All right, 2 a.m. I don't know. Good night. Thanks for watching. And what do we say at the end? Bye, divas. Yes, you remember.
Boots house down. Slay, girl.
Watch the very first episode of the podcast if you haven't yet.
And listen to Hello Kitty by Marina.
Song of the summer?
In my heart.